I feel led to share on the topic of fornication today. You know, as a young man growing up in church, we are taught what fornication is, and the definition of fornication taught in church is that fornication is sex between two unmarried people, like young people. Okay, that is sin, but I don't think that carries the full effect of the definition of fornication. Adultery is sexual intercourse between two persons that breaks the marriage vows. Adultery. You have broken the vows, you have shown disrespect to your partner, and that is a sin in the eyes of the Lord. I think fornication is a type of adultery in that regard. But more so, my definition of fornication is that fornication is the same as masturbation. Because there's nowhere in the scriptures that the word masturbation is used. And yet we all know that masturbation is the most prevalent sexual sin in the world. To the extent that some people actually teach that masturbation is an healthy thing, is a very healthy thing to do. But I have come to realize during my life here on this earth that fornication or masturbation is the worst. It is described in scriptures as a sin against your own body. You are told to flee fornication. You are told to flee youthful lust. What is a youthful lust? A desire for sex that is not involving marriage. And youthful lust cannot be playing football or running a race or stealing. Many sins that youths commit, but it cannot be described as a youthful lust. A youthful lust is masturbation, a sexual lust that is fueled by demons, by evil spirits. And I am saying today that masturbation is the same as fornication in the Bible, a sin against your own body. What's the definition of masturbation in the dictionary? The definition is self-abuse. One who abuses himself or while committing masturbation. It is described as self-abuse. You are abusing your own self. So science has its own definition that agrees with the scripture. Self-abuse is the sin against yourself. And it's very, very dangerous because masturbation invokes demonic spirits. When one masturbates, he is giving off an energy that is evil. Every sin gives us evil energy, produces fears and evil energy, anger, So once we sin, we feed evil spirits. But sexual energy that comes through masturbation is even the greatest, I believe. I think 80% of our sin that we need to battle against or strive against, as the Bible explains, we strive against sin. I think 80% of that striving is against masturbation. Stealing is a sin, lying is a sin, hating is a sin. But these sins do not fight you on a daily basis, invoking your inner attraction, your inner lust, as sexual sin does, as masturbation does. And Satan is very cunning, and he has established pornography as normal, so that you go on your computer and it's all over your computer or your cell phone. My little daughter at age 8, she was on the computer searching for dresses and fashions and so on. And she said she saw something flashing on the screen, on the left side of the screen. And when she clicked on it, it was totally explicit, naked men and women having sex. And she became captivated. And it so happened that I came home just a few minutes after she started. And when I came home, she ran away. She ran and hid in the bedroom. And I was like, what happened, Abigail? And when I checked the computer, she was looking at porn at age 8. And that destroyed her from then. Because evil spirits were able to get into her life. So I am saying sexual sin that is manifested in masturbation is the greatest destruction against man and woman, from young children to old men and women are bothered by masturbation, the sin of fornication in my view. Now, what happens when you masturbate? You ejaculate, and your sperm, for men, women also, but your sperm represents life. Your sperm creates life in the normal sexual intercourse with your wife or your husband. So that sperm, which is spilled during masturbation, the demons now use it to create life in the spirit world, demonic life. So your sperm doesn't go and just is thrown away like that. This is why that man who was involved in the sexual act and allowed the sperm to spill on the ground was killed by God. So as long as you masturbate, you are producing Nephilim spirits, or Nephilim-like spirits that are waiting to get life to torment you and others. So that whole masturbation act creates an empowerment for the strengthening of demons. And I am saying, the Bible tells us, flee youthful lust, flee fornication, flee masturbation. It's something you have to run. You have to run from. And sex is being promoted in the world and in schools as an adult thing. You must be 18 years and over to engage in watching at blue movies. So what does a 14, 15-year-old do? He aspires to look at blue movies because he sees it as an adult thing and he wants to be an adult. Sexual sin is not adult. It is for everyone. No one must sin. No one must commit adultery. Sin is against everyone. No one must lie. No one must kill. No one must steal. One must fornicate. But the world has made it an adult thing. And I'm encouraging young people to gravitate in secret. So by the time you are an adult, you are hooked. And then you are encouraged. You are told, don't worry if it is that you can't get your wife to agree to have sex with you. You can use Palmer. They call Palmer the extra lady in your life that you can safely use, which means using the palm of your hand to masturbate and free yourself. But that is a deception. It produces an addiction. It is satanic. It is invoking and feeding demons. They are nourished and empowered, and they get offspring every time you masturbate. And they are strengthened because they are preparing for war against Jesus himself when he returns. So the empowering of demons, which you're seeing rampant all over the world. Now they have the LGBT, they're teaching sex to kindergarten children. They're calling something, a term they use is outer course, which means children are told you can have outer course, but not intercourse. The difference being, intercourse is when you actually enter someone, but anything else is considered good and expressing yourself, your sexuality. So they are being taught this in schools. I actually attended a seminar where they explained with a document. The document had about 50 pages, encouraging the use of outer course in schools from children as young as 3 years old. Oh my God. Flee fornication. Flee youthful lust. Flee masturbation. Please.